The fragrance of selfless love that has drawn the world into one family. The truth of an eternal message that has been revealed through every act and word. The fulfillment in service that has been taught by relentless sacrifice. The Lord's own life is indeed His message.
Sai Ram, and greetings from this valley of peace. We are now into the 23rd episode of our teleserial dealing with the message of our dear Lord, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. After spending some time on how Swami has lived his message, we are now going to try and understand how we must live his message. Clearly, we cannot exactly do what Swami does, especially on the scale that he operates, but what we can try and do is follow the basic spirit of Swami's teachings in everything that we do. Today, we are going to discuss one such aspect of his teaching, dealing with nature.
We are all a part of nature, but it is amazing how little people of today appreciate that. That is largely because of the way we live. Many years ago, people used to be amused when told that children in New York City thought that milk came from bottles. That was because they knew nothing about cows. And to educate city children, parents used to take them to farms during vacations. Today, that kind of cut-off from nature is happening even in a country like India, which till recently was considered largely rural. People live in cramped houses and hardly get to see even the sky. And at night, the stars in the sky are often not visible, both due to pollution as well as city glare. We hardly realize how damaging is this isolation from nature. Baba often used to say in the old days that every person has 4 mothers and not just one. That might sound rather strange, but Swami has explained what exactly he means.
We forget this point. We should not be... And its mother earth. And also the cow is revered as mother. And scripture is mother. And physical mother. These 4 forms of mother have got to be revered. We have to respect and worship the mother, the physical mother, the cow the mother, the scripture mother. And worshipping of God is most important.
Baba says that clearly the physical mother who gives birth to our body is our first mother. Swami referred to the physical mother as Sharira Mata. Next comes the cow, which by giving milk nourishes young children. Swami referred to the cow as Gomata. After this comes the earth, which too is a kind of mother, because it is the earth that allows us to have homes to live in. The earth, in its capacity as our mother, was referred to by Baba as Bhumata. Just imagine, without the earth, where would we be? Finally comes the Vedas, which represent our spiritual mother, and Baba referred to the Vedas in this context as Vedamata. Now I am sure there would be no exception to the identification of the first 3 mothers. But regarding the 4th, some of you might wonder why non-Hindus should consider the Vedas as the 4th mother. I should explain that in the present context, Vedas should not be taken literally as a set of books that are studied and hymns that are chanted in India. Rather, the term Vedas is a generic term for scriptural knowledge. By the way, as everyone knows, the earth is spoken of as Mother Earth in many cultures. In a sense, the earth is a proxy for the whole of creation or nature, meaning that since we are all a part of creation or nature, we really ought not to forget either our connection to nature nor what we owe to nature. We don't quite realize it, but as Swami says, our best teacher is Mother Nature herself, who teaches us using a book called The Universe. Learning from nature used to be an important part of ancient culture. And in the days when people did so, they literally worshipped nature. Let us now consider two examples of people learning from Mother Nature. We start with a lesson taught by Krishna to his devotee Uddhava. One day, Uddhava asked Krishna for special spiritual teaching. Krishna replied, Uddhava, I am pleased with your spiritual thirst, but do you know that lessons can be learned from everything you see around you? A messenger of the Lord named Dattatreya taught this to my ancestor Yadu. Dattatreya said, O king, nature is the best teacher, and I have learnt so many things from various entities in creation. The earth bears all loads silently. This taught me the importance of forbearance and patience, and the need to be firm like a mountain. In the sky, we see clouds and think there is no connection between the sky and clouds. This is wrong. I learned that in the same way, there is a connection between our body and the Atma within. For where did the five elements making up the body come from, except God or Atma? Do you know that the python never goes in search of food? It just eats whatever comes in its way. Sometimes it has to wait for days, but it does so patiently. This taught me that man should accept with fortitude whatever life offers, be it favorable or unfavorable. We have all seen the moth flying towards a flame and then becoming a prey to it. From this I learned that unless a person controlled his senses, he runs the danger of being destroyed. The bee taught me a beautiful lesson. Have you noticed that the bee never hurts the flower from which it sucks nectar? Also, it never takes more than a limited amount. That taught me contentment and the importance of being kind to the one who gives. The least one could do is not to harm that person. After describing many such examples from the teachings of Dattatreya, Krishna finally said, Uddhava, nature is a great teacher, but lessons are not readily apparent. You will learn the lessons only when you train yourself to search beneath the surface and look for a meaning. Creation is beautiful, but do not be dazzled by it. Look beyond, and you would see the Creator who is much grander. From the lessons taught by Krishna to Uddhava, we turn to a very different example that highlights the reverence that nature evokes, conferring as she does so many blessings. In the middle of the 19th century, during their westward march, the settlers in America, after fighting many wars, made a settlement by which land belonging to native Indian tribes was transferred to the government in Washington. It was a distress sale, and at that time, Chief Seattle, the leader of the tribe making the sale, made a speech. By the way, the city of Seattle is named after this noble chief. Chief Seattle made his speech in 1851. There was, of course, no recording facility available then, but based on notes and memory, many have reconstructed the chief's speech. Here are glimpses of what he said then. The words might not be exact, but there is no mistaking the sentiments behind them. This is what the chief said in part.
How can you buy or sell the sky and the warmth of the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every clearing and humming insect is holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. Our dead never forget this beautiful earth, for it is the mother of the red man. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters, the deer, the horse, the great eagle, these are all our brothers. The rocky crests, the juices in the meadows, the body heat of the pony and man, all belong to the same family. This land is sacred to us. This shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water, but the very blood of our ancestors. If we sell you the land, you must remember that it is sacred, and you must teach your children that it is sacred, and that each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lakes tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The waters murmur is the voice of my father's father. The river are our brothers, they quench our thirst. The rivers carry our canoes and feed our children. If we sell you our land, you must remember and teach your children that the rivers are our brothers and yours, and you must henceforth give the rivers the kindness you would give any brother. We know that the white man does not understand our ways. Our ways are different than your ways. The sight of your cities pains the eyes of the red man. There is no quiet place in the white man's cities, no place to hear the unfurling of leaves in springtime or the rustle of the insect's wings. The clatter only seems to insult the ears. And what is there to life if a man cannot hear the lonely cry of the whippoorwill or the arguments of the frogs around the pond at nighttime? I am a red man and do not understand. The Indian prefers the soft sound of the wind darting over the face of a pond and the smell of the wind itself, cleaned by a midday rain or scented with pine. The air is precious to the red man, for all things share the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man, they all share the same breath. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also receives his last sigh. We will consider your offer to buy our land. If we decide to accept, I will make one condition. The white man must treat the beasts of this land as his brothers. I am a savage and do not understand any other way. I have seen 1,000 rotting buffaloes on the prairie left by the white man who shot them from a passing train. I am a savage and do not understand how the smoking iron horse can be made more important than the buffalo that we kill only to stay alive. What is man without the beasts? If all the beasts were gone, man would die from a great loneliness of the spirit. For whatever happens to the beasts soon happens to man. All things are connected. You must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfathers, so that they will respect the land. Tell your children that the earth is rich with the lives of our kin. Teach your children that we have taught our children that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. This we know, all things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. The Almighty is above all. He is the God of all man, and his compassion is equal for the red man and for the white. The earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator. All shall pass, the whites as well as the tribes. But in between, God has brought you to this land, and for some special purpose gave you dominion over this land and over the red man. That destiny is a mystery to us, for we do not understand when the buffaloes are all slaughtered, and the wild horses are tamed, and the secret corners of the forest heavy with the scent of many men, and the view of the ripe hills blotted by talking wires. Where is the thicket? Gone. Where is the eagle? Gone. The end of living and the beginning of survival.
That was very moving, was it not? It is interesting that throughout the world, ancients in all lands revered nature in one manner or the other. Be it the Polynesian tribes or the people of India or the tribes of Africa, and of course the tribes and nations that lived all across the American continent, both north and south. What all this shows is that in ancient times, and in fact to a certain extent until even recent times, people paid attention to nature, loved nature, respected nature, and even worshipped nature. Now suddenly much of that seems to have vanished. People are wiping out forests on a massive and unprecedented scale. Land is being grabbed left and right in the name of urbanization. Land, water, and even air are being extensively polluted. Valued species of wildlife are being heavily hunted, some to almost extinction. The list goes on and on. Why is all this happening? According to Baba, all this is happening because we humans have stopped realizing what exactly is our place in the scheme of things in God's creation. Swami says, there is a clear-cut hierarchy in God's scheme of things. At the bottom comes man, or Vyashti, who is a limb of society, or Samashti.
Man is not merely an individual. He belongs to a community. Individual is a soul. Community is divinity.
Society, or Samashti, is itself a small aspect of nature, or Srishti. What about nature, or Srishti? It too is nothing but a limb of God Almighty, or Parameshti. There is thus the totem pole, Vyashti, Samashti, Srishti, and Parameshti. Humans must realize where they stand and play their role accordingly. In particular, every individual must make sure that no action of his harms society or is injurious to nature in any way. All such actions could cause pain to God and must therefore be avoided.
Well, that is what Swami tells us. And do you know where all that must start? Can you guess? Well, Swami has himself given us the answer. He says, Bangaru, it all starts with sealing on desires. Think about it, and that would tune you for our next episode. Meanwhile, thank you for being with us, and we hope that you join us again tomorrow. Jai Sai Ram.